This week, another micro console. We look at Freeze Me's beta and something that really isn't awesome. You may know that Nintendo has announced the Smash Bros. Fighter ballots, which allows the community to suggest future DLC for the Smash roster. Well, both Yacht Club Games and Way Forward have come out publicly asking the fans to vote for Shovel Knight and Shantae to appear in Smash Bros. But of course, I'm personally rooting for this guy. Go Bubsy! It's been a few years now since Ouya came in and wowed everyone out of $8 million to make a micro console that has been so-so. A while later, Mad Catz will release its own system called the Mojo, but instead of using its own interface, they stuck with the standard Android Play Store setup, which was met with absolute failure due to a severe case of incompatibility. Well, a team from Israel are looking to fix that with their brand new Android microconsole called Zero. The big difference with this system is its unique trackpad controller, which basically just amounts to a phone without a screen. The Zero is designed to run normal Android and its games through the Play Store, and they hope this controller is the real solution we've all been looking for. The console also shows where your fingers are in relation to the trackpad, so you aren't struggling to figure out where to go. The pitch video was pretty interesting, but I do take offense to the Ouya jab. Honestly, I don't see the Ouya as being Android on a console. I see it more as a console using Android. I don't believe the Ouya was really designed to take your mobile games onto the TV, more like being able to develop console games cheaply through it. That and being an awesome emulator. Now, Zero asked for $200,000, and they did get it, plus an additional $396. Yeah, I'm not kidding, they reached their goal of only $396 between them and failure. But you can still pre-order a Zero for $200 at zerobox.com. After we looked at the new N64 inspired platformer Freeze Me last time, we contacted the devs, Ray Knight Creations, to ask if we could play around with a build of the game, and they were more than happy to supply us with a copy. So the story focuses on R and her dog friend M, who is then captured by the big cat and transported away. R then appears in the first world, and sadly, early problems begin to appear. R's controlling feels sort of weird. For one, when you start pushing on the thumbstick, her movement starts off like she's trying to run on ice before going into a full-out run. On top of that, the jumping is very fiddly. One of the cornerstones of a good platformer is being able to reach a platform with ease. But it's so hard to make timed jumps properly, as it seems her jumps are based on how fast she's going. Like, if you're waiting for a platform to arrive, you have to try and move and then jump at the right time, rather than just hitting the jump button and the direction you want to go. For a game that wants to use a freezing platform mechanic, making sure your jumps are accurate is a definite must. As this episode goes to air, Freeze Me's campaign will only have a week left. Despite these early issues, I am genuinely impressed with what I saw. The gravity feature works well, and here's hoping they reach their $15,000 goal. Now, I've been a part of the reviewing community for quite some time now. Here is footage of me donning the shades and going on cam as Enigma for the very first time back in February 2007. Yes, I've been here a long time. About as long as Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic himself. I think you know where I'm going with this. Back in August 2013, Channel Awesome launched an Indiegogo campaign to produce new shows. They made over $90,000, with one person pledging $6,500, with the reward of cameoing in an episode of The Nostalgia Critic. But one of their new planned shows was a pop culture game show with a set that looked like Screech threw up on it. And after a bunch of delays, the first episode of Pop Quiz Hotshot was released. Oh boy.
On your marks, get set, go! Well, my job's done. I hit the on button.
So, the show begins with our host Brad Jones having two guys play a child's fishing game with a big militant black guy standing with him. And then the real game show begins. Brad, you can't do bold. You look like a psychopath. Which, considering the show's theme, makes sense. The premise is that Brad desperately wanted to host a game show and decided to do his own by kidnapping people to be contestants, as well as keeping an assistant locked up in a basement with fluffy pink handcuffs. Oh, so it's remote control. Only worse. I'm not afraid to say this is absolutely terrible. The questions are cheap, the sets are even cheaper, and the prize itself is the cheapest. Firstly, a game show really requires an actual live audience. Without any real feedback, the entire thing feels completely soulless. The audio issues are a mess, the camera work, especially in the kiddie game challenges, looks like it's been handled by Peter Garrett. Oh, and after you win the rounds and manage to beat the Nostalgia Critic, what's your prize? $100 stinking. Jeez, man. Hope the car ride was worth it. Well, to be fair, missed prizes are added to next EP's prize pool. Just so I'm clear, this is not a jab at Channel Awesome, the website. I personally know plenty of amazing people who are currently on that site, and I could do a whole other video on the issues I have with their site design. This is my issue with Channel Awesome Productions, and believe me, this isn't sour grapes. I've long since accepted my place in this community. Pop Quiz Hotshot is awful. And it's just the latest in a lot of bad luck for the company. Blistered thumbs shining down and other ventures not even being able to get off the ground. Not to mention 5 talents recently leaving the site. I feel no joy in seeing Channel Awesome's apparent demise. And here's hoping the rest of the EPs improve. Well folks, that's it for me this week here on Kick It. I'll see you all next time.